Hello, this is Dragon coming at you with another StarCraft 2 netcast. Today we have a Terran versus Zerg, so we're going to go ahead and jump into it and introduce these players. Spawning up here in the top left-hand corner of Ohana, we have the red Terran player representing Team Exelon Gaming. It is Fuzer, and he is the Finnish Terran. Recently has been doing pretty well in weekly online tournaments, and actually not just recently, just in general does pretty well in weekly online tournaments, and has been known to take some games off of some of those top-notch players, especially some of the ones in the EU, such as Baby Knight, Nurchio, and such, but has not really made any kind of big presence in those offline LAN events. But we're going to be seeing some really cool play out of him today, and it's going to be against his opponent, spawning down here in the bottom right-hand corner of Ohana. It is representing Team Liquid. His name is LiquidRet, and he is the Dutch Zerg, currently in the Ministry of Wind, which is where I did get these replays from. I'm not entirely too sure what the context for these were, but it is going to be a best-of-3 series from LiquidRet. And LiquidRet is actually known as the King of Drones, so we might be seeing some really big macro play out of Ret. That is definitely where his strengths lie. Now we do actually, oh my god, we actually see, I don't even know if we're going to get to that macro game that Ret is so in love with. If, you know, Fuzer is able to do a lot of damage with these two racks, it looks like Fuzer just going all around, all out, balls to the wall aggression with this kind of cheesy play, I have to say. And oh my god, Ret even going for the hatch first. This is something that you do end up seeing a lot of pro players do, just because, you know, they feel like they can defend as long as they have good micro, but it can be so hard to do when you do not have that spawning pull out against a 2 racks. Oh man, you have to use those drones to micro perfectly. You need to pick off this SCV that's going to be making its way over to the natural expansion, as if this SCV is allowed to get down that bunker and allowed to complete, you are just in so much trouble. Your hatchery will almost, most of the time, it gets sniped, and we do see this SCV coming in. He's just going to go ahead and do a little bit of scouting. Now this is going to not be too much of a tip-off for Ret, as Ret should kind of be expecting that scout around this time. But meanwhile, the SCV is going to go ahead and make his way down, back over to the hatchery, and ooh, I really like this play. Oh, is that bunker actually in range of the hatchery? This is going to be so close. I'm really curious to see. And now we do see Ret actually sending out a scouting drone of his own, but now he does end up seeing the bunker being placed down. I love this positioning from Fuzer. He has this one SCV on hold position, and that does allow this Marine to stay very, very safe. And of course, he also has that second SCV just to be a little bit safer. And now we do see a second bunker going down. 6 lanes in production, but are they going to come out fast enough? The spine calls are going down, but it doesn't look like they're going to be taking quite a bit of damage. And a third Marine does pop out. Now 2 Zerglings coming in. One of them actually getting lost. That's a terrible loss for LiquidRet. He really needs to keep every single Zergling and drone alive for when he's finally going to do all the big aggression over here. Now the 3 Marines are going to go ahead and get into the bunker. 2 additional Marines, so now he has enough Marines to be able to start filling up both of those bunkers a little bit. And now we just see quite a few drones being lost. Oh my god, we have already had 5 drones lost, soon to be 6 potential. And now with his bunker definitely in range of the hatchery, LiquidRet is on a timer. He needs to deal with this aggression before his hatchery ends up getting sniped. And now we do see he's kind of picking away at these Marines, and in the meanwhile we do see continuous Marine production coming out of Fuzer. So he says, to hell with it, I'm all in. I might as well just continue producing Marines to help deal with the eventual bust that Ret's going to attempt. And now we do see Ret getting 3 Zerglings out on the map. That's going to help to pick off some of those reinforcements. Do see the Spine Crawler is about to get sniped, and the Spine Crawler gets sniped before it's allowed to re-burrow, and now this Spine Crawler is going to be in range. That's going to help deal a little bit of damage, and definitely going to hurt Fuzer's economy just a little bit. We do see that 18 SCVs are still alive, though, and a command center actually being produced. So Fuzer's going to be in a very nice position. This hatchery, oh man, is looking like it's probably going to go down, as Ret just does not have anything to deal with this bunker. And there it goes, pop goes the Weasel, and now those Broodlings are going to try and do as much damage as possible. Actually managed to get one of those Marines, so a nice little play from Ret, but he's in such a terrible position The Terran actually has a command center halfway finished, and oh my god, now Ret is losing all of those Zerglings. How is he going to deal with this? He has to depend on these drones once again, and luckily for him, these Marines don't have stim or anything, so he can actually get a full surround on them, and he was actually doing a fabulous job picking some of those off, but ends up losing so many drones. We can see 10 drones have been lost already, and now it's down 13, no, now 12, and dwindling to 22 SCVs, and now finally all of the Marines are picked off. But at what cost? We do see the salvage going down. These two SCVs are going to happily go ahead and retreat home. There are not even barracks out on the middle of the map anymore. They've already been safely retreated back over and home. And now, with this command center, he's going to be feeling to be in a very, very nice position. What is Ret's response? We do actually end up seeing in the production tab additional drones coming out. So, oh my god, is Ret just going to try and come back into this game? Just try and re-drone and make it come back? It's going to be so difficult. He's going to have unbelievably top-notch macro, as well as he's going to have to depend on Fuzer making some mistakes, since he's just so far behind. He's going to be playing catch-up, and if Fuzer just makes a nice little timing attack after he kind of benefits from this additional expansion after a little bit, Fuzer's going to be in such a fantastic position, and Ret's just not going to have an answer to it. Now, we do end up seeing, oh my god, a third command center from Fuzer. When you're ahead, guys, what do? You get more ahead, and that is exactly what Fuzer's going to go ahead and do. He is going ahead and grabbing that third command center, and you know, even though he might not feel safe immediately taking his third expansion, he's going to at least have the access to those mules, to the additional SCV production. He's going to feel pretty good about it. Now we do see a star pool coming down. Ooh, I love this play, and positioned by this factor, we do see a tech lab coming out. This is exactly what I was going to say. I would love to see some Banshee play out of him, as you know, he knows that Ret suffered so much from that early aggression. That means that his lair is probably going to be delayed until, you know, he feels safe getting up this expansion, getting that drone count back up, and we even see a Roach Horn coming out. So those Banshees will also put a timer on any kind of pushes that Ret decides to do. If Ret decides to go for some kind of all-in, as it looks like he might very well end up doing, as we do see actually 2 gas geysers out. This kind of indicates a lot of really heavy Roach production. I have to say, Ret's kind of forced into the situation, as he really just cannot, as I was saying before, cannot afford to try and play that macro game, as he's just going to be depending on a mistake from his opponent. But these Banshees are going to be so good for doing that. Oh my god, we actually see 2 tech labs going down on 2 different starports, so he might actually be seeing some 2-port Banshee, like not exactly the traditional sense of 2-port Banshee, saying that, you know, 2-port Banshee used to be a big 1-base all-in that you don't really see around anymore, and that's not what we're going to be seeing. What we will be seeing, though, is probably very heavy Banshee production. We do see the, actually, we see the Corvid Reactor, which is actually the Raven upgrade, so we might actually be seeing Ravens, and oh my god, we see 2 Ravens being produced from Fuzer, so a very, very weird style of play. We're going to end up seeing if this is going to pay off, as these Roaches are definitely going to be coming across the map. Now, he does have a very, very nice wall off, and that's going to make it very difficult for Ret to actually break up, but you know, Ret can still try and go for these destructible rocks over here. Now he does kind of poke up, and oh my god, actually he's gonna be able to attack these barracks without taking really too much of any damage. Only 2 Marines, maybe 3 Marines will actually even be able to damage these Roaches, so as long as he has some good macro, he can at least pick away at these barracks. But of course, the nice thing about these barracks is that it's just gonna delay the push from LiquidRet. Even if it doesn't outright stop it, he's going to delay. It's going to buy time for him to get up things like, say, I don't know, these Ravens, and potentially make some Banshees, get out some additional Marines. He's going to be feeling pretty good about that. And, you know, once again, these Roaches are just going to continue to be produced. We do actually see some droning up behind all this, getting an evolution chamber. Very interesting decision making from Ret. I'm really curious to see what he's trying to do with this. It looks like he's just trying to apply a little bit of pressure and maybe fake out his opponent, make his opponent believe that he's going for an all-in, and then behind it he's going to try and drone up and try and make some kind of comeback. We do see he's actually starting to catch up a little bit in that worker count. And of course, with these SCVs being forced to be pulled, that means that they're not mining. So it's a nice little play from Ret, being able to put on just a little aggression, forcing Fuzer to react a little bit. Meanwhile, going ahead and droning up behind it. Now we do see actually the Ravens being used for a little bit of harassment, throwing down some auto turrets. Now these queens, oh, should going to be able to deal a little bit with this. Oh my god, these auto turrets are actually going to be doing a lot of damage, and we do see a couple of kills being racked up from these Ravens. That is from the auto turrets. Now we do see the Spine Caller is definitely going to be able to clean up at least one of these little auto turrets, but we see 3 more down, and that's going to delay mining for at least a little bit. It's going to be very, very annoying. Now we do end up seeing, looks like those roaches did end up getting picked off by Fuzer. So Fuzer's going to feel pretty safe and pretty comfortable. And of course, with those Ravens, oh my god, these auto turrets are still not cleaned up. Finally, just now getting cleaned up. And of course, these Ravens, oh man, additional 2 Ravens coming out. We're going to see how much damage they can do. We do see 9 total drone kills on those 2 Ravens. Now, of course, these 2 Ravens are going to lay down some auto turrets of their own. There is a Spore Caller there, but it looks like it might actually get focus fire down in the future. Not right now, but of course, these Ravens are going to go ahead and feel pretty safe at getting out of there with full health. And now we do see the harassment has begun. These roaches are over here now, though, so they will be able to pick off of these auto turrets without too much trouble. And of course, it is free units for, you know, costly units. Not super costly units, but still, roaches do cost money. I know that sometimes Chronos players don't feel like that. They feel like, oh my god, they just max out for free. But no, they do cost money, and he's trading it. Oh my god, actually even being forced to use the drones as all the roaches actually got picked off. So I guess 4 auto turrets win against 4 roaches with this kind of building placement. Now we finally see is finally picked off, but of course, 2 Ravens over here laying down additional auto turrets, even going to be able to pick off a couple of these overlords if they start focus firing down specific ones, picking off a queen. Oh my god. Fuzer is just in such a fantastic position. We see that the King of Drones, despite all of the drone losses, despite losing 28 drones this early in the game, is still sitting at 54 drones, so that's definitely impressive. But oh man, he is just in such a terrible position. We can see he really just doesn't have any units to deal with this. And what can he do? He barely just has his lair now done. And of course, with the +1, I guess, range attack upgrade on these roaches, is going to be kind of nice to help deal with a little bit of this aggression and harassment. But I mean, what he really needs is something to deal with these Ravens. He needs something like a Spire or a Hydralistan or something. But I just don't know if he has the opportunity to get it out right now. He's being forced to produce all these roaches. And meanwhile, look at this. Fuzer already taking a 3rd, having already taken a very, very fast 4th. And meanwhile, LiquidRet is just stuck on 2 bases trying to clean up all this aggression. Oh man, I think this game is very, very close to being over, as I think LiquidRet's just going to have to do some kind of giant push out across the map. And I'm not sure how well it's going to go for him. We do see the Ravens starting to group up, but once again, these 2 Ravens are once again regathering some of that energy, but now we do see the roaches starting to move across the map. We're going to see how much damage they do as we do end up seeing, or Fuzer should know about all this, but we do actually, oh my god, Fuzer actually pushing out across the map on his own. And now with a couple of Marauders mixing, he's going to feel to be in a very nice position. Even has 2 Medivacs out there, and now the Marines are going to go ahead and engage these roaches. Looks like the roaches are actually a bit of a better army. No, oh my god, it looks like the roaches actually forced on the retreat. A kind of interesting and surprising engagement. We do see a couple of additional roaches popping out, a couple of additional auto turrets actually going to pop out as well. So they're going to basically turn the tide of the battle, I believe, as now we do see actually a bit of a pickup from Fuzer, and now, wow. Sorry, this game is pretty weird, but we do see some reinforcing units from Fuzer, and I think Fuzer is going to be able to push in and win, especially with this energy building up on these Ravens. He still has enough energy for a couple of additional auto turrets. There, they do go down. If nothing else, they end up soaking up quite a bit of that damage. Now a couple of Zerglings additionally streaming in, and the roaches are starting to get picked off. The Marine Marauder force is just a bit too much, and now with these roaches being basically picked off, we only have Zerglings trying to reinforce them. There's going to be the GG from LiquidRet. So Fuzer showing that he can basically play the standard game after that 2-Rex aggression, and LiquidRet just so far behind, was never able to really catch up, even though he was able to get out a couple of those upgrades, tried to recover, managed to get a pretty impressive drone count, got it up to like around 60 or so, despite having lost so many of those drones, just was not able to do it. And yeah, very well played by Fuzer. Very nice aggression from that 2-Rex. But anyways, that is going to put the best of 3 series in 1-0 in Fuzer's favor. We're going to see if Fuzer can close it out, or if Rhett is going to find some miraculous way to come back. And I will see you guys in game number 2.